In 1964, I think all the players on that team were kind of politicians, but none of us thought for 1 second we'd end up as real politicians. But Mickey Colle did. Mickey was a member of the legislature in Ontario, rising to the cabinet position, and is now the deputy mayor of Canada's largest city, Toronto. Mickey, take me back down memory lane to 64 and what it meant to you.
Well, what it meant to me, Steve, was coming to an amazing Canadian iconic city, Halifax, by the Atlantic Ocean, and coming to a school that was almost like a fraternity, basically, where everybody was very personable, everybody was a character, and it was a place where you had this legendary coach, Bob Hayes. So it was quite a ride.
What made that 64 team special?
Well, we had some very talented people. If you look at the talent on that team, whether it be Paul Puma, the great fullback, you had a quarterback, Dave Murphy, that was so smart and capable, and you had basically linemen that were tough as nails, loved getting their face in the mud. And it was all a lot of grit and desire.
What do you remember about the Atlantic Bowl game itself?
Well, I remember I was worried just before the game because there'd been a huge snowstorm. And the question was whether we were going to be able to play. But luckily the weather cleared up a bit and they plowed off the snow. And so when we got there, I remember it being very slick, slippery. And we had, quite a formidable opponent from down east, McMaster. And, we held them to 1 point. So that was, and it was such a culmination of such a great year where we beat St. FX, which was an accomplishment itself. We survived UNB, all these other places, and we ended up with this championship.
You spent 18 years as a teacher, teaching history and economics. Then you went into politics. Why politics?
Well, Steve, I had basically taught history, civics. I was always very interested in what was going on in government, what was going on in my city, my country. So I decided to give it a go, and it was never a career plan, but I got into it the level of counselor. And then I eventually did provincial politics. It was almost like an unplanned adventure.
Did St. Mary's prepare you for that?
Well, St. Mary's taught me that you had to be grounded. You had to be sincere and forthright in dealing with people and challenges, that you couldn't do it. You couldn't sweet talk your way out of anything. You had to produce to demonstrate you belong. You couldn't talk your way out of things. You had to get things done. And that's what it taught me, playing football and being in a school with no frills, a very small school, a very unique history, and taught me that kind of Canadian grit.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Mickey Colle.
Thank you, Steve.